Hello and welcome to a Build with Bear game stream. I hope you're doing well tonight. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build nothing because it's a game stream. No building. Just hanging out. I'm going to give a shout out to everybody who's here in the chat. Thank you for being here to Epic Open World and Washable Markers. Welcome. First of all, I don't stream. Harold's here too. Hi, Harold. I don't stream on Harold Tilson, thank you very much for the host, Harold. Aristovan's here too. Hi, Aristovan. Yeah, I don't often stream ever on a Friday. That was for the hosting. Yeah, like I said, I don't stream on Fridays. I generally, hey, how's it going, Ben? Welcome. Friday nights, normally for the past year or so, almost a year. Harold just cheered 69 bits. Nice, Harold. With a very nice. We'll give you applause for that. What I was saying is, I've been working at the Brooklyn Comedy Collective, which is a fantastic little theater here in Brooklyn. Glad for the stream. Sad you didn't get to work. Yeah. I covered a shift on Wednesday. Very glad I covered that shift. And then yesterday they announced that they were going to voluntarily shut down the theater for, at the very least, the rest of March. It was funny because it was a decision that throughout the course of the day became apparent because earlier in that day I was receiving emails because they had just confirmed a Sunday show because they were on the fence if they were going to do it or not. And they were like, all right, let's do it. And then probably because UCB and the Pit and the Magnet all were like, and for those who don't know, those are the big comedy theaters in New York that focus on improv and sketch and stand-up. They were all like, we're shutting down. So you can imagine the smaller theaters are like, oh, us too. Yeah, we are also doing that. So I'm going to play some Hearthstone, and I'm excited for that. If you know Hearthstone, you will watch me be pretty okay at it. If you don't know Hearthstone, well, you will watch me, and you can ask questions. I'll explain it. We'll talk about the decks and what I'm trying to do with them, and it'll be fun. School was canceled. Was called statewide for the next 2 weeks, so it looks like my spring break just got longer. Yep. Your spring break where you can't do stuff. My roommate decided that he was going to go stay with his girlfriend, and I'm very happy for the two of them and my roommate's dog. But I was kind of hoping that he'd be around and we could like chat like roommates. We're not like the closest, but we talk. We have a lot in common. We both play Hearthstone, which is fun. Which I'm going to bring up. Does Hearthstone have cards? Asked Epic Open World. Epic Open World, that is a great question. And the answer is yes, there are cards in Hearthstone. It is a digital card game, of which we will go and check out in a second. Go over to the game. We're in the game. It's in the game. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on chat. I'm going to retweet. But yeah, I usually for them work, Brooklyn Comic Club work Sundays and Fridays. And I was going to work next Wednesday as well and make a little extra money. But yeah, I can't stay. Just want to drop in. Well, Harold, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I won't say right now that I'm going to be streaming as much as I am this week continuously. Because this week, I will stream 5 times. I can't imagine I'm going to be doing that all the time. I'll still be doing Monday, Thursday, Saturday build streams, and I will be doing another day of streaming. It'll be probably a lot of Hearthstone because it's a game I own, have a lot of stuff for, because I'm already like, where am I going to put my money as far as model kits go? I really can't think about buying new video games. I bought Doom, but I bought Doom months ago. It is one of the only games I pre-ordered in a very long time because I don't pre-order games. And two, I'm not going to stream that because that's too much. That's too hectic. So, you might be asking yourself, Pat, what kind of decks you like playing? What's your thing? Well, I like wild decks. If you don't know, the difference between standard and wild is that at a certain point they said, hey, there are now going to be cards that you can't play in the regular format, and we have a new format where you can play any card we've ever released. And this going forward, every year or so, we'll make some cards, we'll retire them. It will keep things fresh. People will have to adapt. People will start using new cards. And it will mean that people that haven't been playing for all this time, that don't have every card, won't feel things are that unfair. And wild means that it's kind of the Wild West. Anything goes. And cards that are kind of broken don't really get fixed too much. New cards that get made that have incredibly bizarre interactions with old cards. Like it doesn't matter in the meta of the standard, but it certainly is there. I thought this was Simulator where you look at hearts while you get stoned. Oh yeah, sorry, Epic Open World. I'm sure that game exists. I'm sure someone has made an itch game called Hearthstone, with a bunch of numbers in there so they don't get shut down. So a deck like this. This is an Evolve Galakron deck. Galakron is the latest expansion, or the latest full expansion. And recently we got this card. Transform a minion into a random one that costs 3 more. Well, that card is pretty great in traditional. It's pretty fun to throw in standard Shaman. But in Wild Shaman, when you can play it with Corridor Creeper, which is a 7-drop, as long as you've had minions die on the board, costs less, you can play that for cheap and then evolve it into a 10-drop. That's broken. If you've already evolved several of your 3-drops with Evolve, you can further evolve that. You can turn a 2-drop into a 5-drop. It's a little broken. Also, my favorite part of Galakron is that in the invoking, is that you suddenly get a 2/1 with Rush when you invoke. And that's just a body on the board that you can then evolve if you want to do it. This is my favorite wild deck in a very long time because sometimes you win on turn 6. And sometimes you win on turn 15 because you can turn things around with an okay board. It has one card, one draw. This card draws one card, and that's it. But also, it only has 2 epic cards, or expensive cards. Very expensive cards. So you only have to craft 1 expensive card because you do get Galakron for free. Epic Open World asks, do you look at guides for deck building, or do you shoot from the hip and build your own? So I take inspiration from streamers, particularly streamers that also have YouTube highlights, because YouTube highlights are easier to digest. Roffle, Roffle, is my favorite Wild streamer currently. Dane is also very good in Wild, and they play a lot of decks. They play competitive decks, but they also play weird decks. And so sometimes I'll see them build a deck around a card. Chump, who is a standard streamer, builds decks around cards and often builds decks that are fun but not great. And sometimes I'll take his ideas as well. And sometimes I just play decks other people have created. Like this Test Wild deck is just... this is Brian Kibler's deck. Brian Kibler played this in Wild because he wanted to play some Wild cards in his deck, and I totally use it. This Cthulhu deck is an old deck. It has no cards from this latest expansion. It's just a Cthulhu deck in 2020. But this is a Raffle deck. And then some decks I make my own. This Rush deck is my Galakron Rush deck. I've taken some cues here and there from some people, but it is, for the most part, my own creation. that I have basically like taken some cues from some other people, but put my own twist on it and really tried to make it my own. I do look at guides, but guides are for the most part. Well, actually, let's get into a game. It's time to get into it. It's time to duel. We'll go back and so our goal for tonight, our mini goal for tonight, is to hit rank 10. We are halfway through rank 11. We are going to be primarily using Evolve Invoke, which is my favorite deck, because you can lose and you can win. You win spectacularly. You lose, obviously. And also, having a deck with Devolve in it is just, like, yeah, maybe you want Hex, but we're not a control deck. Devolve is just a great way to get through taunts, but also it does make some people sad. But yeah, I've been, I'm playing for this a long time, and we want to try to hit rank 10 tonight. We'll see. We'll see how we do with rank 10, if we can make it happen. So we're going against Priest. So we're going to figure out. We're going to see what kind of Priest we're playing. We can imagine the possibility of this being Quest Priest. Well, okay. So, okay, this is Cthulhu Priest. This is probably an old deck. We're not going to see too many new cards in this deck. I don't mind hitting because we are not playing a deck that, if our opponent spends their turn just healing, I think that's going to be good. So nowadays, can you play the game and be competitive without spending a lot of money? So Epic Home World, they're pretty dang good about doing events, often doing events that allow you to have, like, multiple quests going at the same time. Like, not every month, but, like, pretty often they will throw in events. So next turn, if we have a board, we might evolve it, but most likely we're going to be rushing next turn and try to take a bit of board control back. That's probably the plan. So they're better about that. You do need money, or time. You can meta deck in standard and find a deck that works for you. Okay, so we have options right now. We can, if we rush, we will have a 2/2 and a 2/1. It takes both of those to kill this, and it will kill one of them, which will lower our Corner Creeper, which we can pair with Explosive Evolution. And I think that's our best bet. We could also get a totem and then evolve that, but I like this combo better, so we are going to do that. Because we are now lowering the cost of Corridor Creeper. And if we can force a 2/2 to trade into a 2/1, that's good for us as well. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, it costs money. It is a free-to-play game. I don't feel bad about giving devs money for free-to-play. Yeah. Yeah, you certainly don't need to spend hundreds of dollars. I would say, if you're going to get into a game, you buy a pack, you get a bundle of the newest cards, so you have the new ones. Playing the game to hit certain levels, unlock some cards that are classic that you can then dust. There are guides out there. Okay, so we know that we are going to do this because it's rad, and this is not the best 10 drop in the game. There are worse 10 drops, so I'll take it. We could mutate this into an 11 drop. There's only one 11 drop, and it's an 8/8. We're going to freeze this. And we'll leave it there. So we could mutate that if we wanted to, but mutate, I'm keeping mutate in case one of our evolves goes bad. But yeah, you can find decks online that are inexpensive decks. So you're looking for things that are, you know, like low-cost decks. Okay, so this is a turn, like, this card would be bad for a bunch of people that are not us, because we can do this. So, this is not a problem. You can see, because I'm using a deck tracker, I'm keeping track of my evokes. That makes my Galakron better. The more you invoke, the more cool stuff you can do with Galakron. Also, even though this is a 3/3 as a 6, which is not great stats, we can't evolve it. And we may evolve next turn just because it's fun to evolve a 6 into a 7 and a 10. Let's see. We're going to do this. And we're going to do this. Use our rush minions where we want. We're probably going to evolve this into a 8/8, 11 cost 8/8. But I wouldn't mind getting a few more hits in before we have to do that. Getting it a little damage. Which we might not be able to do, depending on what our opponent chooses to do. With our opponent is playing an old deck. This is an old deck. This is probably inexpensive. You know, has Cthulhu and is doing the thing. Okay, so we have invoked as much as we need here. We can get 2 8/8s and we can get a claw. So we are going to do that. We are going to. If we'd only invoked twice, we would have summoned 2 4/4s. If we had only invoked once, we would have summoned a 2/2. So now we have summoned things. They have rush, so they can't attack face. They have to go in. So we will take advantage of that, and then we will do just a bunch of damage. And because we can, we'll do that. And we'll just do this too. Why not? We are in very good spots here because our opponent has built their deck around making their Cthulhu bigger. That's great. That was a last-ditch effort to try to get, I don't know, the 1/2 with taunt. But yeah, beating our opponent before turn 10, because they use their coin, so turn 10 is the soonest they can play Cthulhu, is the way to win that. Because the Cthulhu's battle cry is it does 1 point of damage for each of its attack, and you're just building its attack more and more. You try to sneak in a brand before that, so it does double that. We were in casual, which is great to start off with. Now we're going to go to ranked, and we're going to try to win in ranked. Casual does not affect your rank, is where people go to try and experiment with decks. That is probably somebody who is trying to get a vibe for this deck. Maybe they haven't played Cthulhu in a while and they just want to vibe it out. But that's a good start because it's low pressure. Often you don't run into people running meta decks. And meta decks just means, I'm going to take a drink of water here. Meta, Pat, I think this is an inappropriate thing to do, making your Cthulhu bigger. Hey, Epic, you know, like, Cthulhu here's the thing. Cthulhu would like to get bigger. You are helping Cthulhu reach his full potential. You know? So, I like to think of like Cthulhu, like Galakron just wants you to invoke in his name. So we are invoking in his name. We're helping him out. Now, if you want to say that helping demonic evil demons, dragons, or helping out the equivalent of Cthulhu is wrong, well, that's a conversation for another day. But I don't think it's inappropriate. So meta decks are just like, I have one. I have one for standard. When I need to rank up a little bit, I play Mech Paladin. Do I feel dirty playing Mech Paladin? Of course I do. Am I still going to do it? Yes, I am. Alright, cool. I would just play my Doomsayer card to get rid of the demons. Yep. You know. Sometimes you want to... Okay. Alright. So is this so this is damage? Okay, there are dragons? No. Well, yeah. Okay, so yeah, all right. So this is just damage hunter. Okay. Damage hunter yeah, all right. Uh we've invoked twice, which is great. Also, as you can see, if we really need to, if we're feeling like, we have Kronk's Dragonhoof, which will pull in. If you don't have Galakron in your hand, you pull Galakron out of your deck, which is great. If you do have Galakron in your hand, you play it after Galakron, if you played it, and it unleashes some things. You can get an 8/8 with Taunt. You can do 5 damage to their face. You can do 5 damage to all of their minions. It's pretty neat. Alright, so we're just putting some bodies on the board while we wait for turn 6 to either invoke or to draw Galakron. I'm most likely going to invoke so that when we do draw Galakron, it is buffed up. I'm also not quite too worried about this board right now. Blizzard has such a good art teams, even the game. Yes! Oh, all their art is just so interesting and, like, mixes so many different things. Like, there are pigmen that ride motorcycles in this. And then also, like, cool-ass, neat, weird elementals and nonsense things. And just, like, so much weird stuff. I love it. I do love their art very much. Alright, so we can clear the board now, which is rad, which we will do. And then, this is only a 3 drop. This is only 3 health, so it could get removed. And I would rather... Ooh, that's nice. Now it's a 6/6 with Taunt. Now, we are not holding a dragon. Even though he says Dragon Hoof, he is not a dragon. But now our opponent has to remove a 6/6 from the board instead of a 3/3. So that is a huge advantage. Also has Taunt. And our opponent just wants to go face, but we are just going to make it so that they can only go face. And we're going to build a board big enough that we are going to... There you go. Okay, great. So our opponent had to use that card there. And now we are going to taunt up. On turn 8, we might have to play Dragonhoof. We might have to. Because our health is, a little low. And our opponent does have cards that just do damage to our face, like this. It's rough. And using your coin, what are you going to use it for? Okay. That's fine by me. Okay. Alright, we got an evolve, so we could evolve this into a 9 drop. Yeah, I think we're going to have to do this. We are now setting ourselves up to have a very good next turn, because we can play Galakron, summon 2 8/8s with Rush, have a 5/2 weapon, get 5 armor, and then also have enough mana to play a 2/1 with Taunt. And now we're going to do this. And now we have a minion with Rush. This is kind of bad, but great. So we are going to do... We are going to overkill this. Get rid of a 6/1. And then... we would rather these be 3 1/1s, but we'll make it a 4/4. Now we have a board presence that delays things a bit. Our opponent can do 5 damage to a thing if they hit us for 2, which is bad. One would hope that our totem is going to absorb that. It might not. They could trade before that. Okay, they're going to take the obvious choice there. It's a good choice. But we are about to get some 8/8s. And we're going to get some armor. Okay. And we'll see what we take here. Okay. Alright. And then they're drawing last. Drawing last, that seems like a thing you could do. Alright, so. There's one thing that's very clear. This is happening. Can't go face with these. Now, do I want to lose an 8/8? Or do I want to take 2 damage? I want to take 2 damage. I'd rather preserve an 8/8, take 2 damage, and go down 2 because it had poison. I can't run. I could run an 8/8 in that. I'm not gonna. But now my opponent, has to do some stuff. My opponent has to put that card down there and not heal, where they obviously would have preferred to heal. All right. Okay. So, we can now do a lot of damage, but we open ourselves up to receive a lot more damage. We can devolve the board. We can play. We can trade, which we are going to. We are going to trade these off. I already knew we were going to do that. We're going to do this, and then we are going to. Great. Now, we did miss lethal there because I traded before I did this. So that is on me. We did miss lethal. So that is obviously a mistake. And then we'll just do this. And we'll do that. Great. So yeah, I did goof up. If I had done my evolves, knowing the possibility that I could get a charge minion existed, I could have avoided. I missed lethal by trading instead of that because I had a 2/1 that could have attacked face. So I did mess up. Epic Open World. That I play decks that can do this, that are built to do what I'm doing right now, which is a come from behind victory. Like I won the game, and we're gonna win in brutal fashion. There are decks that are meant to blow out your opponent. Face decks that are like that just badger your opponent, whittle down their health, and win. There are decks that are meant to control the board, and at the end you swing back. You've taken some damage, but you've kept your opponent from hitting lethal. You've turned things around. You're playing a card that refills your health to 30. So it doesn't matter because you're playing a card that does that, because there's one card that does that. And you're playing a card, you've played the conditions available, so that card will play. But yeah, I have found that this deck, while silly and nonsensical, also allows me to do things like that. Because I know that if I have invoked a lot, I can play Galakron and swing the board in my favor. Devolve swings the board in your favor if they've done a bunch of things that involve death rattles and magnetic. There are a lot of possibilities. All right, so we're keeping 3 cards here because we want minions to die so that this combo works. This is a way to get a minion on the board and invoke. It is our cheapest invoke card. And yeah, and we got another expensive invoke card. But yeah, so some games, you know you've lost. You just know, well, I'm losing this one. In other games, you're like, oh, I'm going to stick this out. I could maybe turn this around. Like I said, I almost won that one round if I had played my evolves correctly, which I didn't. I traded first. Like, yeah, you know, it is, it's possible. And then there's times where you're playing and you're like, I never had a chance in this game. You know, your opponent plays Dr. Boom, the hero card, and all of a sudden they just have this incredible, huge advantage that you just can't overtake. Our opponent is playing Hunter. They are playing. They're going to play a bunch of small minions. So this combo should theoretically work. So we will let them play a minion that we can invoke and freeze. They want to play low-cost minions because they want to play that. I like this deck. This is a fun deck. I'm happy my opponent is playing this deck. All right, we also have on turn 3, next turn, we can do some fun stuff, which is why we didn't. It's not why we didn't use the coin, but it's a good reason to not use the coin. Yeah, now we are decreasing the health of our Corridor Creeper for this combo, and we have a new combo here where we're going to play 3 1/1s, which 3 1/1s doesn't sound good, but it does sound good when you do this. You do this. This is the best part of this Evolve deck. Because look at all the stats we have on the board. Now, this sucks, obviously, and Blizzard does this on purpose, right? Blizzard on purpose does stuff like this. So we are going to give our opponent a 5/5. That sucks. We didn't get the ability to get a 5/5 on our end. So looks like our opponent couldn't kill it. So we luck out because this can't stand. So we're gonna. It's bad. It means our opponent has to go through it. I don't like it. Great. Now it's a 5/5. That's a bad 5/5. But yeah, if I were to play, I would build a minion deck. I love RPG. Oh yeah, minion decks are really fun. Hunter is your minion class. They have multiple. Paladin and Hunter are your classes to just fill with friends. You want a lot of friends in those decks. This needs to go because we don't want our opponent to play 1-cost minions and give them poisonous. So that has to go away. So we're going to make that go away via invoking. Now when we get our Galacrond, it will be bigger. We can also invoke again and make it even better. We don't want to mutate it. I might want to mutate this into a 9-drop. Yeah, that's a way better stat base. That's a beautiful 9-drop. Oh, Nurse Sea Kraken. Old school beast. You don't see it a lot because 9 health isn't great. But, oh, it's a beautiful beast. If we had Devolve, this is where I would use Devolve. Because our opponent is going to heal for a bunch with this card. Which I don't love, but we don't have Devolve. So instead, we were just going to invoke and get ourselves a big old Galacrond. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Let me know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Do that. Because we're already going to lose anyway. That way we were... Oh, yeah. We just do that. It's time to do that. It's just time to do that. Had no real clean way to get through there. Our opponent was going to... Good luck with the games, Pat. I might drop LR. Well, thank you, Washable Markers. Thanks for being here. My normal build stream will be tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, as usual. But I appreciate you being here and hanging out. I think we won this game. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we won. One thing. If we had drawn Galacrond, I might play Galacrond. But I don't like to... one, I often quit when I know I didn't win. And two, I do not like that, like, oh, let me do all my stuff. We both knew I won that game, right? We both know that I have lethal. They couldn't stop me. I'm going to win. There's no reason for me to, like, muck around. I'm just going to do it. The only time I might muck around is if I'm on a quest to get gold, and I need to, like, play 2 more battle cries. I might just play my battle cries and do it. Alright, so we get an extra card. So we're going to keep Desert Hair because we're hoping to get Evolve so we can do what we just did. We don't know what kind of priest we're playing. Corridor Creeper's probably not going to be great because we might not have minions. We do have that, and we did... Okay, so Death Rattles. Great. So this is the best draw we possibly get. Devolve is going to save our butts. Now, you might instinctively want to play Devolve early. We don't want to do that. We want to play Devolve late when our opponent plays cards that we, 1, don't want to deal with, and 2, would prefer not to run into when they get like revived. We want to keep them out of the revive pool, and we want instead them to have weird cards that they don't want to revive. So Devolve is going to be great. Yeah, like this. Like, I'm just not going to kill this. I don't actually know what I'm going to do this turn, per se. This I would like to kill, but I can't. But yeah, I don't want to use my Devolve right now. If I draw in my other Devolve, maybe I would. If I get 1/1s into my board, here's the thing. I can put 1/1s in my board. I have Faceless Corruptor, so I can just make a 1/1 into a 4/4 with Rush. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it. I'm probably going to use Coin in turn 5. Obviously, this is a weak turn, but I'd rather take face damage. Even that much face damage. Alright, so get a 4/5. It'll trade later. Play a 4/4, trade into it. I think I'm going to do it. I don't like getting 1/1s in my deck, but as I said, there are far worse things. And then you can see right now I will summon 2 4/4s with Rush. So we've got invoke cards. We're whittling this down so that we can evolve it for free. Or we can use Unstable Evolution and have a lot of mana to play with. We've got options here. I'm not worried. Our opponent is only at 3 out of 7. And, of course, our opponent also is going to have cards that let them, like, they want to play Amara, and then they want to play a 2-cost that pulls Amara back into their hand so they can play it again. They've got stuff they want to do. Alright, now we're just going to make a very big friend. I was tempted to invoke. I'm going to hold off on it. Oh, Gruul. Gruul is a great 8-drop. Gruul is kind of a meta joke in Hearthstone. Where a lot of people were like, hey, why doesn't Zek have Gruul? Is a bit of a meme. You know what? One more. Hey, okay, great. We pushed our luck, but I think it worked out okay in our favor. But yeah, Gruul is a bit of a meme. But Gruul, like, oh, that's a 7/7 that is going to be an 8/8 at the end of the turn and is going to just get bigger and better. This is where... This is a card that I would like our opponent not to have. As I said, we've got those Albatross in there. Now I can make an Albatross into a 4/4 with Rush. So I would like this card to not exist in our opponent's... like, 1, I don't want to give up anything I have. And 2, I don't want them to have it. So as much as I would like to invoke to kind of further work on our Galakron, I have to do this. It's a 5/4 and a 1/1, so we're already better off, and then we can just do a bunch of damage. And now Gruul is a 10/10, and our opponent really needs to start thinking about how to get rid of Gruul. We can also get rid of that 5/4 next turn very easily. We can just turn our 1/1 into that. So yeah, even though we are ahead, our opponent can turn things around pretty quickly, like that, silencing. Now it's a 7/7. So obviously, not the best turnaround there. Ooh! Our opponent healed their face instead of healing. So that means that we can... Oh, no, we don't want to do that. Wrong card. Wrong 5-drop. We want this 5-drop. Because this 5-drop lets us invoke. And just for funds... We'll also do that. Invoke again. We have now invoked 4 times, which means our Galakron will summon 2 8/8s with Rush and equip a 5/2 weapon and 5. So we now have, like, and if we do it on turn 9, we can also get a 2/1 as well. We are doing pretty okay. Force Hysteria, great. Now, our opponent has a card that they can play on turn 9, which will silence everything and destroy everything on the board. We do not want that card around. So, we are playing stats. explicitly, we are... Let's do it. Yeah. We are doing a thing right now. The thing we are doing right now is we are trying to bait our opponent. We are hoping that our opponent board clears to make our next turn even stronger. Okay, use Mass Hysteria. Didn't work out for our opponent. We literally have lethal. And our opponent concedes. That was a great step. We were trying to bait out the 9 cost. Oh, and we did it! Folks, we did it! We did it! We hit rank 10. We had one goal for tonight's stream, which was to hit rank 10. We're going to keep pushing it. We're going to keep going. Can we hit rank 9? I don't know. I am going to take this opportunity to just pause and breathe for a second, say hello, welcome everybody that's watching. I'm going to tweet out that we just hit rank 10. I'm feeling very happy about that. I am okay if we continue to lose. If we lose the next game, I might stop playing ranked, and I might go and try ranked standard. But I am very happy, so I'm going to retweet out that... very happy about that. Look, obviously, there are a lot more ranks. And then there's Legend. Never hit Legend. The most I've ever done is I believe I hit rank 7 or 8, maybe 7. There was one deck that was just completely broken that I used to play. It was a Druid deck, and it was just a nightmare, and I was very good at it. So I was very good at that deck, and that was the best I ever did. Rank 10, can't drop below 10 rank. Wristfan, I'm 90% sure, but I don't remember. Can you drop below rank 10 in Hearthstone? With one exception, ranks 20, 15, 10, and 5 in Legend or Milestone ranks. Great. Okay, so I can't drop below 10. I am at best, I am at the worst leaving with rank 10. Hello, Harold. Welcome back. We just hit rank 10. So I'm going to be at rank 10 for the rest of the month. When the month ends, things get recombobulated, and I'll drop down again, so I fight back up. But yeah, I hit rank 10, and I'm good for rank 10. I can't go back down to 11, which is nice. But yeah, thanks to everybody that's watching. Reminder that I am doing my next build stream tomorrow. You're more than welcome to come join me. 9 p.m. Eastern for a building stream. Working on this Astaroth. It's literally right over here because I didn't put anything away yesterday. So I've got a model kit right here. And when that's done, I'm building a Pikachu. It's a Pikachu model kit. Alright, so I am tempted to keep most of these things. I am playing Priest, so I am not. Because I am looking for... I don't know what kind of Priest I'm playing against, so I don't know if I need Evolve or not. Invoke a Frost. You know, this used to be a 1-drop. When this game came out, this was a 1-drop, and it needed to be patched. And it negatively affected me, but it needed to be patched. This was a broken 1-drop. Is freeze a minion, get a 2-1 with Rush. An enemy. So you can also freeze face. That was... that's too good a card. So we're not going to freeze them. We're going to save it and hopefully, do something with it later. We do want to start invoking. We can also start evolving if we need to. We still don't... we still don't fully know what our opponent is. We can assume that they are not... let's just start getting evoking going. Because we'll also invoke next turn, probably. We can assume that our opponent, or we can theorize that our opponent is possibly Res Priest or Big Priest. They don't seem to be Quest Priest because they haven't played the Quest card yet, and they probably would have. Okay, so there's some sort... What is this? Is this... because we got Galakron, we might as well get some evokes going here. Opponent just played a card that they would kind of save if they're combo. So I assume that they're face combo, like they're OTK priest. But what? I guess they have some res cards to bring it back, and so they don't mind playing it just to absorb some. Okay. Well, that is charge. I think this is face priest, and I have some experience fighting face priest. I don't have enough experience fighting face priest. I don't have a good way of clearing that, so we'll just put up some meat shields and go face, because we can get rid of it next turn and buff this up. Definitely want to do that. Okay, silence it. All right, I'll take that. I don't want to face the priest. Meat shield. Yup. Good old meat shields. Meat shield, I think, is a better term than trying to gender characters in the game. I do often say big boys and or big boy season. I'm trying to be better about that. So I do often say, you got to put up a big meat shield. But taunt is a meat shield. They absorb damage. They are shielding you from damage. But yeah, I occasionally try to be better. We're ahead, but let's risk it. Ooh, what's this friend do? Reborn. At the end of your turn, hey look, tiny meat shields. Also, Reborn is a fucked mechanic. That's a fucked mechanic, my friends. Reborn means that after this dies, it comes back as a 7/1 with 1 health, and you have to kill it again. Yeah, we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna play Galground. We'll do that. And we're just gonna hit our opponent in the face and do lethal damage and win. Turn 7. We might hit rank 9. Knock on a wall. I don't have wood near me. We could hit rank 9 tonight. Let's try it. Let's go for it, folks. Let's ride the momentum. I'm gonna play other decks, I think. But I'm also very excited about maybe hitting rank 9 with y'all. Reminder, if you use your Twitch Prime coin, you have to manually renew. We do have some subscriptions that need to be renewed. And if you do it through Cash Money, make sure you also hit that notification if your subscription has renewed. Tiny meat shield is great with mustard. Yeah, I mean, I like a little meat shield. I'll put some A1 on there. Okay, so we are playing against a druid. I assume that we are playing against some form of quest druid. We're going to keep an Invocation of Frost to get our Galacron going because, look, our main win condition is just that Galacron is a bunch of good cards. Our sub-win condition is that we can evolve and do nonsense. So, okay. So our opponent is playing an even deck. All their cards are even. And that gives them the ability to hero power for 1. Even Druid. Huh. One thing competitive games taught me is you're winning, keep playing. Once you're oh yeah. Once you lose once, you quit. Yes, Epic Open Worlds. That's a fine ass strategy. All right, so we got our corner creeper friend. That's good. Our opponent picked the tree. So they could be tree ants. They're playing even. Like, it's an annoying deck. We do have devolve, so we can make it also annoying for them. Suddenly have less. Okay, but then you have this Murloc. So, do you have dragons? What deck is this? Hey, what deck is this? We're going to keep the coin to live the dream to see if next turn we can play that. Our opponent doesn't have dragons in their hand. Is this a even singleton deck? Is this an even singleton deck? Singleton just means it used to be there used to be only one good reason to have one of each, and that was to play the card that heals you up to full, where you have to have no duplicates. Now there are a bunch of cards there if you have no duplicates. Yeah, so this is like a hand buff. Y'all, I don't know what this is. I don't know what deck this is. I think I love it. Yeah, I'm very confused about what our opponent is playing. Yeah, this might be an even singleton deck. That means they're going to play wild cards. Like, they've already been playing cards that I'm like, what are you doing? You know, they've got a dragon that can make two random dragons that cost 0. They can heal up to 30. They've got a bunch of nonsense, incredible options. What do I want to do here? Let's Galakrond a little bit more, because now we have our creeper is going to get cheaper, and we're going to get a cheaper corridor creeper, and then we can evolution it. Have a groom. Okay. Harold, you have a great night. Thanks for coming in. I'll hopefully see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here, as always, my friend. If I were to guess, not knowing anything about Hearthstone, they have a bunch of cards, and we'll play them. Epic Open World, like, I like your instincts. So here, we got a buffed dragon that's going to add a random dragon to their hand. Yeah, I think our opponent is just playing, like, a very strange singleton deck. That is my guess. And now we have a 10-10. We didn't start out with a 10-10, but now we have a 10-10. So that's it. Because I have a taunt, I'm not worried about that 7-6 right now. That's a future Pat worry. Future Pat has to worry about that 7-6 that will give him a random dragon, which could be an odd card. Cool, they got another one. They got some buff dragons. Well, I got some answers to your buff dragons. And that's this combination of cards. And I'm going to make this even smaller. So I can do this. Get rid of that. Now you get a random dragon. Here, have another random dragon. There. And then, just for funsies, because we don't want our Great. Now we got taunt. Now we have a 6-6 with taunt. And we healed our big friend. I'm feeling okay about this. Now, as I said, well, you don't love to see that. Now our corridor creeper is free. So if we get an evolve in there, we could make this an 8-drop. I'd rather save that. I think we're just going to, well, so that's going to kill there. So we're going to do this. We're going to say goodbye to that friend. So, yeah, let's make it an 8-drop. There is an 8-drop that is just a 1/1 because its battle cry is nonsense. We did not get that one. We got the one where you can heal yourself. It takes up a spot, but it is a 4/8. So that is pretty good. And we got the healing totem. Our healing totem. Our best option for totem. Yeah. Okay, that's what you got. That's a pretty good card off Bone Drake. I'm not going to lie. Ysera is a pretty good draw. So, I'm not going to kill Ysera here. Going to do this. And I'm going to keep evolving until I get a nonsense minion. Do this. That's pretty cool. That's bad. That's cool. Hey, guess what? My first spell each turn costs 0. That's a card my opponent probably doesn't want me to have. We'll do that. Oh, don't need draw. This is not going to be That's not a good card. That's not a great card. Great. We just have a bigger board. Our opponent has 6 health. We have 27 health. So generally, when you play an even deck, it's because you're trying to make your hero power broken. And while having a hero power that heals, that gives you armor for 1, Deathwing. Damn. You had Deathwing. Well, that's a card that can turn things around, y'all. And we do not have the Devolve would have been great right there. Galakron would have been pretty sweet right there. This is not the worst card we could have pulled. It's not great. Because we don't have any healing to make this come back to life. So yeah. Not the best. But also, our opponent now has the 1 card they have. So they do have a 14-14, which is now even bigger. We would love to draw Devolve. We would love to draw Devolve. We have 2 Devolves in our deck. What if we draw Devolved and we just won? That's not Devolve. We have lethal if it's Devolve. It's not Devolve. So we lost. We lost, and it's okay that we lost. I should have expected that this weirdo deck had Deathwing. So we're just going to concede because we did not win. And that's okay. Hey, that's a big loss, but that's an okay loss. Like my viewer numbers just really dropped as soon as I lost a game. Okay, that's probably just the time. That's fine. That weirdo deck beat you. Yes, Epic Open World. As I said, like normally singleton even decks, like here's the real thing. The real thing. That made our opponent incredibly happy. Because I have been there. I play some real goofball decks. Renounced Darkness. I play this deck. This deck is terrible. This deck does not have a win condition. It has a sequence of events that you would like to happen, where you replace all of your cards in your deck with cards that cost 1 less from another class. That is not a win condition. When you win with Renounced Darkness, it's great. But that's not a good deck. So, when I win with my Renounced Darkness deck, which we'll play one with that, it feels incredible. Look, also, I'll say this right now. I will lose to weird decks all day long, all night long. Losing to meta decks, losing to decks you see constantly, decks that are just standard. They're just the new standard deck, but you're playing with maybe 1 wild card, the new meta. I hate that. So one of the reasons I started doing wild instead of standard, because I was tired of playing the same 5 decks or 4 decks, or the deck but like a little cheaper. Hey, Dirty, welcome. We're playing Hearthstone and hanging out on a Friday night because up until yesterday I was gonna have plans, and those went away. Oh, I should say that I did receive today my payout for Twitch because I did not get one last month. It's like 15 days after the end of the month if you hit the threshold, and I did hit the threshold, so I did get that today, which is great. Very pleased, very happy about that. It helps, considering that the only consistent job I have. Hey, Devolve. Would have loved to seen you last turn, our last game, Devolve. Oh, imagine if we had devolved that and it wasn't a taunt and we just hit them in the face and won. Ooh, that would have felt good. We didn't top deck it though. But yeah, I got a little contract work that looks like it's still happening because I can do it from home. The thing I'm worried about is I have the only thing like pressing right now in my life. So, okay, draw your opponent draws a card and you get a 4/4 for 3. Okay. Does a Death Rattle deck maybe? Death Rattle Rogue? I'll play a Death Rattle Rogue. It's not Pirate Rogue, so I'm feeling okay about that. But yeah, I was gonna say. I'm doing like an interview next week. Oh, you're a mill deck. Okay. Well, I have one. Great. Our opponent is a mill deck. Their goal is they want me to have no cards so that I lose health in fatigue. But the thing I have going for me, which they do not have, is that I drew the card I need. Galakron is my win condition. I drew my win condition. So I am not worried. I need at least one more evoke card to get this to a good position. But even playing this gives me 5 armor. I feel pretty good. And the chances that I'm going to pull something I want are pretty strong. Like this. Do that. Because I don't want that thing in there. And then we'll just do this. Yeah, we'll just do that. And we'll do this. 5/4. Better than the 2/5. Pretty weak for an 8 drop because it has a great battle cry, so to offset that to make it less broken. So not a great 8 drop. But in a hand where we already have that, and then we also can we haven't done this in the stream, maybe we'll be able to do it. Maybe I might just do it anyway. We're going to play Dragonhoof, and I'll show you what you can do with Dragonhoof. Okay? That's a Vilespine Slayer. If you want to use your Vilespine Slayer there, that seems great. This is going to be to reduce damage, I assume. We need to invoke this more. We got to build up our friend. So let's do that. And then we'll just do that. Okay, cheat death. Friendly minion dies, return it to your hand, it costs 2 less. So that, we now know that's what that is. Because it wasn't Sudden Betrayal, and it wasn't Eviscerate. Or Evasion, I should say. Okay. So, I don't really want my opponent to have either of these cards. But I would rather they have this. Well, I don't know. I'd actually much prefer to just devolve them. But are they going to get Destroy a Minion and all copies of it? Or just Destroy a Minion, but it has to be a combo? I think we're going to kill that first. I mean, we're killing both of them. Don't get it twisted. You can have that back. Now, this allows our opponent to kill the Faceless Corruptor in our hand, which is not great if they're trying to mill us, but we do have the only cards I really care about. That's annoying. I would have much preferred to have been Creeper. That is annoying, because now we cannot use Dragonhoof. And our opponent used their Flick. And now our opponent has a bunch more of Flick. So, we probably fucked that up. I mean, I can tell you we fucked that up. But, we're just going to do this instead. Got here. At the end of your turn, cast a spell from your deck. Randomly choose a target. No. We do not want that. We don't want that. Shit. All targets are chosen randomly. We tried to evolve that, and we can't. Sorry about that. So instead, we'll do that. That's a backup strat. Oh, yeah. So they had a card It's called Toggle Scheme. The more you have it in your hand, the bigger it gets, and it adds one each turn, and then you can shuffle those into your deck. That doesn't work. That doesn't work on Reborn cards, my friend. So my opponent is... Oh! Now our opponent has a lot of Dirty Rats. Incredible. So our opponent now has a bunch of Dirty Rats in their hands. And yeah. So Noggin Father is doing some interesting things. I don't love having this card in my deck. And in fact, we won't have it anymore. I don't want to be playing it anymore. So, normally I would attack with things. I'm still going to. We'll do that. Okay. We do know that at the end of the day, we are going to evolve this. Okay. Goodbye. Because it didn't target anything. Ooh, look at that. All right. This isn't good. Well, when we copy the minion from a minion hand, we don't have a minion in our hand. Like I said, evolve is weird. This is an okay 4-drop. This is a good 3-drop. This is an alright 10-drop. This is a very good 4-drop. So yeah, our opponent is playing an odd kind of deck. I mean, they're drawing their stuff. I thought it was a mill deck. Actually, isn't, as far as I can tell, not a mill deck. But yeah, they gave up. We didn't even have to play Galakron. We won with the evolve side of the game. Alright, so. Oh, now we have a golden hex card. That's cool. Because we're ranking up. We already have hexes. Now one is golden. That's fine. Because I didn't really play a lot of Shaman. Shaman is one of my least played. But we've been playing a lot of it. Alright. Let's play something terrible. We're going to go to casual. And we're going to play Renounce. And I'll explain to you how Renounce works. While I drink after I drink some water. Thank you to everybody that's here. Thank you to people who have been here the whole time. You know, we started an hour and change ago. We're going to go, I don't know, sometime from now. Honestly, it's just nice to talk at people and talk to people. All right, so our deck is full of only Warlock class cards. There are no neutrals. We are trying to draw one card, Renounce Darkness. When we play Renounce Darkness, it will replace every card in our deck that is a Warlock card with a card from another class that costs one less. It will replace every card in our deck because our deck is full of 30 class cards. We are now about to play it on turn 1. The only slight other condition is we have Void Caller, which when it's destroyed, when it is killed, summons a demon from your hand, so we can summon a Void Lord early. We are saying goodbye to that. We also have the hero power. We are now a lesser cost Druid deck. What's up, we're Druid. Renounce Darkness. One would hope epic open world. Alright, so now we are a Druid deck. None of this matters because we're a Druid deck. If you control a minion with 5 or more attack, gain 2+2. But we don't have that. Deal damage to any minion equal to your hero's attack. That's going to be our turn 3. We're just going to play a 3/3 for 2 that doesn't do anything. So that we have presence on the board. If your deck has no duplicates, duplicate your hand. We don't know. Elise, I have no idea if we have any duplicates. We'll find out if this is active on turn 4. Our opponent is a zoo deck. Oh, we can destroy a minion, and then our opponent draws 2 cards. That's pretty good. We might do that. We can also damage equal to your hero's attack. We can make our hero have an attack of 1, and then we can deal damage to that. We don't necessarily want to do that. We'll do that with a taunt. So let's get through that. Let's pick a taunt. We'll do that. So as I said, we have done this deck's thing. I stress, I am not saying win condition. I am saying the thing this deck wants to do. This deck has no win condition. Okay, so we have duplicates in this deck. We now learn, because this would be golden, letting me know that its battle cry was active. So its battle cry is not active. Summon a random beast from your hand and give it rush. That sounds great. This having rush sounds rad as hell. Fine.
I see your weakness.
Fine. You get... They have a Galakron. Now, their Galakron does different things than our Galakron. So their invokes are different. Galakron is in several decks and does different things depending on the deck. Okay? So, I kind of don't want to play this because we don't have anything for this to rush into. Because I would like it to rush into things because it is overkill. And then we can get a 5/5. So this is a great combo. So instead, we will do the taunt version of this. Again, I have no idea what's in my deck other than there is at least one duplicate in my deck. Because this doesn't mean anything because our deck is now a druid deck. But yeah, I could just play this, but I'd rather... Alright, yep, okay, give your minions +1 attack, you get... There. So they invoked it, okay. So our opponent's going to heal some when we do this. But let's... Ooh, is that... That's a minion, great. Here's a beast. It has rush. Hits that. Takes 3. Summons a 5/5. Heck yeah, it does. Take care of that. And we're going to go face. We might want to clear our opponent there, but I felt like I could take the damage there. Okay. Oh, you're setting up, trying to set up for Defile? That don't work. That was a mistake. You don't have it for Defile. Okay, corrupt your player. I now have to play this. Okay. That Defile did work. I rescind my previous statement. If you are holding a minion with 5 or more attack, adapt. We are. Let's adapt. We are going to give this a divine shield. And we are going to play this. Because if we didn't play it, because it was corrupted, if we didn't play it, we would lose it. And I'd rather have a 5/5 in play than not have a 5/5 in play. Because who knows when we'll have the option for this to for it to work. Peggle, roguelike dungeon crawler. We just game. Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw who was. Oh, that's right. Greg Miller posted about that. Other people might have as well. I can only speak that I believe Greg was right. That does sound pretty cool. Honestly, you had me at new Peggle. If someone wants to knock off Peggle and make their own Peggle, that sounds great to me. But if it also has like dungeon crawler roguelike stuff in it, that sounds pretty good. Okay. All right. Okay. What else you got? Okay. Good. Good on ya. I'm just going to make myself a 9/10. Now, do we have any cards left? No. Do we even know what those cards could be? Druid, and they could be any card we've already drawn because we know there's at least one duplicate. But also our opponent, you know, Galakron. We knew they had a Galakron. Alright, at the end of your turn, reduce the cost of a random minion in your hand by 7. So, we want to keep that around. We don't really want to play it. I'd rather just do 10 damage to face. Knowing that our opponent can Galakron again, because I think they have a second Galakron. Right? Yeah, they do. They did, because they use that merchant thing. But we still have a 9/10. Yep, there it is. That was the expired merchant. Yeah. Ooh, that's a that is better random cards. Those are way better random cards. Dang, those are better cards. Epic open world. I hope you enjoy your time with Borderlands 3. Seek out the robot. It is that it is voiced by Sung-Wan Cho, aka ProZD. And I hope you enjoy yourself and have fun with it. Best I can do. Aww, now I have to play my wisps. Now I have to play my wisps. Summon a 1/1 for each card in your hand. I ain't got any cards. I do have this, though. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. Do I really want to have this? Do I really want to play that? Or would I rather hero power? I would rather hero power. And then play this. There. I don't care about you, wisps. I only had Yakuza 0 takes too much brain power right now. I understand. Look, yes, Yakuza 0 does require energy. There are combos. It's a fighting thing. I hope you have fun with it. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Look, Borderlands 2 was okay. Alright, we lost this game. Hey, I do like Fungal Lord. That's a fun card. You can do some fun combos with this if you can make it cost less. Yeah, we lost, so that's okay. We're gonna concede. As I said, we were playing a game. We did the thing we were supposed to do with this deck. Oh, but the pre-sequel really rubbed me the wrong way. So I went from really loving the series, the first game, liking but having my issues with the second game, very much not enjoying the third one. Never played Tales, but I hear good things. But I never played it. And now, yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's play our other weirdo deck. Let's play some Test Wild. That's another weirdo deck. At the very least, I want to play some weirdies. I don't want to play any of my meta. I don't want to play any of my, like, well, this is what I play to win decks. Because I already played my half-win deck.
You asked for it. None can escape my fury.
Alright. What is this deck? This deck has two things. Spectral Cutlass. We want to play cards that fuel this. Now, you could get a Battle Cry from another class, but it's just a good card. Waxmancy is just a good card. Blink Fox will give us from another one. We're playing a Mage, which is great, so that's from our opponent's deck, so we'll keep that. And then when you play it, you're just building out your Cutlass. You're making things. We got a good one-drop. We're going to put Deadly Poison on it, and we're just going to continuously have this weapon. Cover Disguise is good, because that's just from any other class. That's great when you're playing against a rogue. Now, also, we have a other condition. That's great because we're going to heal, we're going to do damage to them. We also have Tess Greymane. We got Tess. We got academic espionage. That's another thing. Test just replays everything from another deck that you played. Um, Test rules. Okay. What do I want to play here? Oh, if there are cards in your deck that didn't start there, draw 2 of them. We're going to play that in case we end up playing academic espionage. We can play that and pull some of those cards from our deck. So that sounds good. Have you ever, just for fun, built a deck of random cards? Epic, I've never done that. I have played... Ooh. Please give me these cards. Please give me cards. I'll do this. Just to get that off the board and to reduce my hand size a little bit. Because we are going to draw a card. And now... Oh, God, that's a beautiful card. Frostless Jaina. Okay, so here's the real thing. If we play Jaina, we become a mage. So then if we play Test, we play rogue cards again. That is beautiful. All right, how many cards we got here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We could get milled, but I don't have any one-cost cards, so we're going to risk it. Oh, that's beautiful. This is ridiculous. Yep, okay, so we're going to mill. I hate milling academic espionage. I hate that next hand, the chance of... If we mill Valera, that sucks. If we mill Test, that's a bummer. But we are looking pretty good to do some fun stuff here on turn 4.
My hand is full.
That sucks. Losing Deadly Poison also sucks. Alright, so we're going to play some cards here just to kind of whittle our hand down. And now we can do 4 damage if our opponent has cards that attack weapons. That's a bummer. A secret. You don't necessarily love to see that. Okay. We don't have any weapons in our deck. We can discover a legendary minion from another class. That sounds good. We would like to play that to... Because anytime we play a card that's from another class, we increase our durability. So we want to do that. We're going to see what that is. Okay, armor. That sounds great. It's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. All right.
Justice is mine.
Already, this is all over the place. Yeah, so to answer your question, Pokemon World, not really. I haven't really hit. There is a card that just is a neutral that just gives you a random deck. You only put that card in your deck, and then you just get a random thing. That's kind of fun. But that's not necessarily my jam. So this is going to be great for kind of reducing the amount of cards in our hand, because we would like to do that. So we're going to prep. We're going to do this. We can't play either of these cards, which sucks. Let's pick a legendary we can play. And we can play that legendary. We now have a 4/6 that whenever you play spells that deal damage, you restore that much health to your hero, which is rad. We don't really need the health, but we needed a minion we could play right there, because neither of these we could play. We can soon, maybe, play them. Okay. Figured they had the other one. Alright, let's play that. Opponent casts a spell, give your minion a spell. We'll play that. We're going to play Never Surrender. That's a fun one. Do we want to put either of these in our deck? Not really. We'll take advantage of having that.
Justice is mine.
I am guessing that this is Ice Block. Gonna go ahead and guess this is Ice Block. Could be Flame Ward, but I'm gonna guess Ice Block. Alright, and what we got going on here? Blizzard. Well, I got even more health, my friend, so sorry. But that don't mean much to me. Alright. Discover Battle Cry. Your hero can be targeted by spell. Your hero can't be targeted by spells or hero powers until your next turn. Um, for each minion, restore 2 health to your hero. We'll play this because it's going to cost 1. We'll play this. That's pretty good to have. That is a card we can play next turn. We're going to play this. Just it doesn't do anything. We just want it out of our hands, and we want to use our mana efficiently. And then we'll do that. So, if we want to keep the 4 attack on this weapon and not have to play our other weapon, because we lost our, we burned our other deadly poison, we're going to have to play this, one of these 3 cards here. Should I have killed that? Probably. Probably should have killed that. Yeah, now that, especially with the health that our opponent got, probably should have killed that. But what we can do is we can do this. Yep, I'm going to guess that that is Ice Block. It could be Vaporize, but I'm going to guess it's Ice Block. Alright, so that did that. That was good. Is there anything in our deck that I would ought to put in our deck? I guess I wouldn't mind having Burglar. Well, that wouldn't fit either. Alright, let's do that. We're going to put our Rush minion there because we are going to have cards in our hand that we're going to use in the future. And then check this shit out. We just drew them. How cool is that? That's very cool. And then hit you in the face. That is fun for me. I like that shit. We put them in our deck, and then we drew them back out. And we knew they would be them because the only 2 that we added to our deck. Because maybe we'll get academic espionage, but maybe we won't. I don't know. Okay, alright. That's not great. That's... Okay, we got Valera at least. Please don't. Please. It would be excellent if I did not... Okay, yeah, that works good. Alright, alright, let's do that. We're gonna use this. We have to use it at some point because we are running out of cards. We have no room for new cards here. We're running out of cards to. We had to play something to keep our Spectral Cutlass alive. And now we're gonna find out. Okay, yeah, it's Ice Block. It could have, could have been Vaporized, which would have let us play another card. We did not pop the bubble. And then it goes away. We did not pop the bubble. Hopefully our opponent does not have 30 damage. The ability to do 30 damage. They might. Do they have it? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they do. Okay, they had the combo. Okay. Look, they had the combo, but we're playing the better deck. Oh, they're not. They're just clearing our board. They're not even... Are y'all not... You're not... Maybe you think you're fast enough to just win. Okay. They might be fast enough to also be able to do 30 damage. If they can do it, if they can clear my board and do 30 damage to my face and win this turn, more power to them. But we're going to let this play out because they may have gotten greedy. They may be able to do it. But if they got greedy and they can't do it, then we just hit Valera. And we win. So they have to be able to do it. It looks like they're able to pull it off. You know, they don't got boomer fingers. They can make it work. And there they go. They overkilled it. They killed everything on my board and then killed my face and did 30 damage. We didn't have cheat death. But if they hadn't been able to do it, if they left me with even 1 health, boom, I hit Valera. I go stealth. They can't do any damage to my face. I got 5 armor. I hit them in the face first. And then I just I have another weapon to beat them in the next turn. Unless they have 2 ice blocks, which I bet they don't have. But they could have. So that's that deck. Is that better than what I was doing? No. Alright, that's going to do it for tonight. After this next game. One more game. One more game. Let's hit one more game in ranked. Let's go back to our Evolve Galakrond deck. This is going to be the last one, I think. Unless we get disconnected. This is the last full game. Let's say that. Because sometimes your opponent isn't actually there. And they just time out. Which isn't fun. Okay. Got Shaman versus Shaman. Are they a quest Shaman? What do we get? What are we fighting? What's going on? Let's live the dream. Let's try to catch. Let's try to evolve. Coin evolve. I don't think we're gonna do it. Would have loved to have pulled a Firefly. That's okay. Or Invocation of Frost. Corridor Creepers. Okay. We're gonna keep the coin. Also, we don't know what our opponent's about to do, so we'd like to keep an eye on our opponent. See what's up. Opponent right now, just doing that. Okay. Oh, cool. The other Corridor Creeper. That is a card. And we're in the mirror right now. We are mirroring our opponent. Move for move. Shot for shot. Okay. They got totems. What do you got? You guys, a totem package? You're going to buff some totems up? What, do I got to clear that off? I mean, I do have to clear that off. I got to use my coin. I don't want to use my coin. I don't mind invoking. I now also can play one of these on turn 4, so I do have a turn 4 play. If these go away, I can, these get killed. I can Unstable Evolution one or both of these. So I've got options for my turn 4. Oh, okay. Just gonna pull a card out, huh? Well, since I have 2 of these, I'm gonna play 1 because I can spend my turn 5 buffing that up if I wanted to. And then even that if it gets good. Turn 6, I can play this twice, which will be good for that. Oh, you got a Murloc, huh? Okay. And you pulled a Murloc. Now I have a Murloc. Cool. Thanks. Oh, that's a good Murloc. Gonna kill my 2/2. What else? You got more? You got more? Okay. That's a 3/2 now. Alright. Making moves. Big money plays. Oh, I got Evolve. I got the Evolve package. So I can do this and this. Because that needs to go. Then I could do this. And I could do this. I could do this. Now I got a big old board. Now, are any of these really bad for me? No. This isn't great. That's good. That's good. Because I could waste this, but I'd rather not. And I can still invoke next turn. So we are doing the Evolve side of the deck. Cool. You're just a Murloc deck. You're just Murloc Shaman. You're just Murloc Shaman it up in Wild. Now you got Paladin stuff. Hey! You evolved all my stuff into things that are pretty great. And you get to kill the most important one. Now I got Murlocs. I guess I could get a random Murloc. I'd rather just have these show up. Rather invoke. Get my friends going here. It's way better. Because I can do this. I can just do that. And then... guess that should die. There, and that goes there. Goes there. What's the most... yeah, I'm going to keep that. We'll make this bigger. Okay. Could have mutated this. Went with that. Trying to... I mean... look, at the end of the day, I still got a Galakrond. So, I'm doing pretty good. Okay, 2 Force with Rush. I'd like to invoke more, but... oh, going face! What? Oh, and you're just going to quit. Okay. Well, cool. We won on turn 6. Turns out Evolve can be very strong. We'll do one more. We'll do one more. The game ended in turn 6. We're so close to maybe hitting rank 9. So let's just do one more. Evolve can hit or miss. Invoke, pretty strong. That makes this deck fairly good. Let's see what we got here. Okay. We up first? No, second. The dream is right there, so we can get rid of this. Protect the dream? Yeah, protect the dream. Mutate is just sometimes on turn 3 you end up with just a bad 4-drop. Okay, so our opponent has only odd cards, and they can heal themselves even more. So they're odd. This could go the distance, or it could be over on turn 3 when we do our package. All right, okay, going for the restore health. You are a quest. I thought you might be quest. Okay. Well, that's fine. I'll let you do some damage. Spend your mana healing. Draw a card. Get towards your quest. It's not as good as the other quest. It just isn't as good. But I have a thing that I'd like to do, which is this. And then I do this. And then I look at it, and I go, good 4-drop. Okay. Okay. Make that a 5-drop. Same thing. A waste. That is a waste a bit. But, you know, okay. We also still have Explosive Evolution for next turn if we want to do that. We've got, we can freeze that thing. We got things in here that need to go away. Several of these cards need to not be cards that we deal with anymore. So that's got to go. This is a 5. Why not make that an 8? That's a great 8. We could theoretically heal at some point. Sometimes this deck is pretty good. We can also devolve if we need to evolve. If one of these things gets out there, we got to take care of business. Okay. You can put a card in the battlefield. Oh, that's cute. That's rude of me. Okay, that is rude of me to say, oh, that's cute, and be condescending. But we are going to just do this. So, do I love the fact that I gave them a stealth poison? No. Somehow I gave them 2 stealth cards? No. I don't like that they're going to swing this into this and just kill it, and then I'm going to have to try to heal to get it back. I don't love that. But I still love it better than an 8/8 that I have to fight my way through and couldn't do damage to. Knowing that we have we can invoke, and then we're going to get this up so we can get some 4/4s going in. Yeah, don't love that. Maybe I'll get the healing totem, and I can heal up. Why would you... What do you do? Why would you use your card? That seemed weird. That just seemed weird. Let's do this. Booyah. Booyah. And booyah. We'll do that. Do that. Make our corridor creeper cost less. Get this thing off the board. Do 5 to your face. Just do 5 to your face. Okay. What's up? What you got? Okay. Cool. Okay, and cool. Let's see what this is. Okay. Just do that. And we'll just do that. Make it so these cost less. So if we do pull our other evolve, evolve some stuff. Yeah. We only need to invoke once more to upgrade this and get a weapon, but... Okay, now our opponent has even a better hero power where they can now heal themselves and do a bunch of other things. And then also, I assume, concede.
It is finished.
Our opponent just really wanted to finish the quest, and I can respect that. I can understand that. Also, we're ranked 9! Hey! You know what? I'm applauding myself. And then I'm also gonna do the sound effect. We just hit rank 9. It happens. We hit rank 9. That rules. I'm psyched about that shit. Look at that. 2 stars in a rank 9. We are not playing any more Hearthstone. That is the end of tonight's Hearthstone stream because I am quitting while I'm ahead. I can lose a little bit without worrying about it, but we are not risking that at all. So I am attempting to, when I can, to raid people at the end of each stream because a lot of folks are out there like looking for things to do. And so if I can point you at a cool stream, I'd like to do that. So let me see who is streaming right now. Let's see. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't. All right. We're gonna go and do they need us? No. But we're gonna go and raid. Loading. Ready. Run in just a second. A reminder that if you that my next build stream is tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully you'll come check that out. But yeah, we are gonna go in just a second and raid. So thanks so much. Have a great evening, everybody. If you're not gonna come with us, but we are gonna do the raid because that is a nice thing to do, and I hope more people do that with me as well because I think it's nice to pay it forward. But yeah, that's the end of the stream. Have a great night, everybody.